Blog Talk Radio.
You are now listening to the most talked about blog talk radio station in the universe. Walking His Ways, Impact Voice Radio. Be prepared to have your mind stimulated, your spirit elevated in ways you couldn't even imagine. Introducing your host and the mastermind behind this unforgettable experience, Furman Jackson Jr. You will not be disappointed. Let's go!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Walking This Way Impact Voice. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr., broadcasting you live once again from my hometown, my city of Mobile, Alabama. I thank everybody for tuning in earlier today as I interview the lovely ladies out of Atlanta. MacMo TV with K-Mo and C-Mac, lovely ladies, talented, beautiful ladies, queens doing their thing in the city of Atlanta. Also, man, I have another special guest here on today's broadcast. He's considered one of the legendary artists here in the city of Mobile, well known throughout the music industry and still going strong. And I'm thankful that this awesome man took time out of his busy schedule to give me the opportunity to interview him here on Walking This Way Impact Voice. And he's well known. I got the artist C-Nile. He's an artist, entrepreneur, you name it. He's doing big things, still going strong after all these years in the music industry. And we're just going to jump into this interview. And I was looking up the word ambitious, because it's about ambitious and determined to win with C-Nile. So I was looking at the definition of ambitious. It says having a desire to achieve a particular goal. And I looked at the meaning of determined. Having reached a decision, firmly resolved. And that's what this man is about in this time, in this generation, from his past all the way to his future. And like I said, I'm about to get to pull him in now. And I just want to say, C-Nile, welcome to Walking This Way Impact Voice.
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you for having me.
I appreciate you, too, for responding back to him. I know I reached out to you on Instagram. I know you've been in the music industry for a long time. You have an awesome story from giving your life to the Lord, going strong in the faith, going strong in the music industry to make an impact on our generation. And I just truly honor and truly thank you for taking time out to be a part of Impact Voice.
Oh, yeah, man. No problem at all, man.
Yeah, we're going to kick it off. I know you're well known throughout the whole city. You consider legendary here in the city of Mobile and the surrounding Gulf Coast area. But for those who get to meet you for the first time, my first question is, who is the man behind C-Nile?
The man behind C-Nile is C-Nile is just the character that conveyed the story in rap form. You know, it's all the same guy with me. You know, I'm always the same. And like I said, C-Nile is just the one that tells the story musically.
Awesome. And I know you grew up in one of the roughest, most violent neighborhoods here in our city, and that's the Roger Williams Projects. Within that environment, your upbringing, take us in depth at that time. How was it in that surrounding area growing up?
I mean, a lot of things worked out for the good, but I wouldn't say it was a good experience. It was, you see a whole lot of stuff that kind of turns you into a cold person, you know, seeing people get killed and shot on a regular basis to where it just becomes a part of the norm. So, you know, somebody died, it was like I didn't have any feelings about it, pretty much. It was just cold. It was just like, oh, yeah, that's messed up. You know, and you just keep on going on about your business.
Yeah, and I know, like I said, in that time, especially in the early part, 90s, things of that nature, and I know it was very violent at that time. And I know musically wise, you start putting out music. You was one of the legendary artists underground putting out music. So when did you start getting into rapping and things like that?
I started getting into the music around 97. I just got in a talent show, actually, just being silly. You know, I knew how to write poems because I used to write poems to my mom when I was younger. And I just tried it, man, and I won first place and kept winning first place. The next thing you know, a friend of mine was like, yo, I'm going to put the money behind you. And we started a record company, Straight Profit Records. that was out in based out of Mobile and Houston. So, and I mean the rest is history. We ended up getting signed with Sony about a year and a half after that. So things progressed pretty fast.
And awesome stuff. And within music, who was the artist that you look up to, musically wise?
As far as like the artists that I want to work with, or artists that I just look up to,
Artist that
because
you
there's
just looked
several of
up
them.
to? Yeah.
There's several of them. I mean, I look up to the guys like you got your Diddy's, your Master P, um, Birdman. The guys that had a lot of stability in the game. I looked up to a whole bunch of them for different reasons, though. Some for the business,
Um,
for the way they ran their businesses, and some of them as artists as well.
hmm Yeah, I know. Cause I've been listening to Master P as of late. I know Master P considered one of the goats in the music industry, especially within the South. On ownership, distribution deals, educating the up and coming artists that's coming up now. And I just love his mindset, like you said, the business wise of things. And I know, of course, you doing big things within the music industry is also pushing out music, keeping on grinding, and continue on taking it to the next level. Um, Another thing, I know you went to a dark time at the time. You did time federal prison. I know you shared your testimony. How did that all lead up at that time in your life of going to doing time with the feds?
Well, I mean, I was out there, selling drugs. I got back into the drug game, to further my music career, and you just get sidetracked sometimes. So I just kept on dealing, when you keep making $50,000 purchases, or lose 60,000, 70,000 here, like it kind of keeps you in the game, and because you still want to make up that money, and eventually we got indicted. And I was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison. So that was it in a nutshell. But I mean, like I had been dealing drugs my whole life, like since 12 years old. So I had never done anything else until music
And
came
I
along.
wow. And like I say, took that because you're legally genius. I listen to a lot of your music, and you're legally inclined with your rhyming, the stuff you put together. And I just love your style of music, the gifting that God's giving you on this stage, this platform. And at that point, I know my next question, at that point in your life when you done time within the drugs and the federal prison and things like that, what really went off in you to make you say, you know what, enough is enough. It's time for me to change my life.
Well, it was actually my son, because, anytime I ever went to jail before, it was just me. But this time I actually had a wife and a son. And, just seeing them go through the pain for something that I did, they have to come see me and leave crying every week. They just did something to me. And I was like, man, I got to change my life and make sure that my son don't travel down the path that I've traveled down. You know, I felt like,
Mm-hmm.
the way to do that was I have to first change and not just be telling him what he should be doing when I'm still doing wrong myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
I know what you're
I
saying.
just realized, just
I
like,
know.
yo, man, I've been in and out of jail my whole life. It's time for a change. I just knew that I wanted to be there with my son, to be able to guide him and help him as much as possible, to make the better decisions.
Mm. And I'm glad that as you as a man, especially a man of color, stepping up, being there for your son, because we need a lot of that in this generation. We got more fatherless homes than anything. And like I said, I work within the jail system. I work within Metro County Jail, and I'm correction officer. And I see a lot of young black males looking at time in prison. My thing is I try to encourage a lot of the guys. Some listen, some don't. And a lot of these guys gifted, talented, but it's good to see you as a man, made that change, be there for your son, and help steer him in the right direction. So I respect you on that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I think things may have been different if I had somebody there to guide me, but then again, I don't think it would have, because for some reason, I just loved that lifestyle at the time. It seemed fun, and It's just what I did. I mean, anybody with good sense, you would think, would go the opposite direction. You seeing people getting shot and killed right outside your door, but for some reason that fascinated me, and I took that, I took that route. So I just wanted to make sure that I, lived in neighborhoods where it wasn't right outside of my kids' door, not to hide them from it, but to make it where it's less likely something they'll choose.
And
but where I stayed, it
that's
was right outside my door. I'm literally looking out of my window as a young boy, watching people make all this money, get shot, and in some cases, people getting killed out there. So it was, I don't know.
And we know it's rough, back then, it's rough now. And I know a lot of young men, a lot of them are raising themselves, of course. A lot of them don't have that proper guidance to steer them in the right direction, until somebody grab hold to somebody, which like I said, a lot of them do listen, some don't, some do, but at least reach one somebody. I know you reach that one somebody, that one somebody could reach somebody and they do that chain reaction effect, helping people go in the right direction. It's all about being an example. And I know you said something, quite frankly, that with your son, that you had to make the change instead of, son, you do right and still do wrong. And I respect you on that too, being an example for your son.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
No problem. And I know my next question is, I know you gave your life to the Lord Jesus Christ. And I know, how did, at that time when you did that, how did the faith community receive you?
I mean, I've always been received with open arms from both parties, from the street side and from the Christian side of things, because I always just came as myself, man, and was real about my situation and who I was, and I never really had any problems with it.
Cool, because I know you were doing a lot of music with a lot of Christian artists around the city of Mobile. Did something like True Seeker and many other artists that gravitate to you quickly because of who you are. And like I said, when you drop from the street side to the Christian side of music, you still dropping bars, still making hits, and still, because a lot of your music, I ride to my car, it's like the song 3000, the song I Surrender. I love all them tracks, and I ride to them tracks with my window down, music turned up, jamming to your songs, because they are very gifted.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. The only thing that I don't like about, like that side of things when you're talking about music, I don't understand why they have to label it and separate it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. I feel
you never heard of a gospel or a secular painter. You know what I'm saying? He's just an artist. But when it comes to music, it's like if you make a song or just a regular love song and you don't even mention God's name, they would act like that was equivalent to making a club hit or something. You know what I'm saying? Talking about smoking weed.
I know what you're saying.
It's like, that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't care to make that kind of music. I just care to make the music that's in my heart, the music that I like, that speaks on where I am at this point in my life, and that's what I do. I just be real with me and make the music that I like.
Mhm. And I respect that. And like I said, I think I'm glad you mentioned that, because years ago, China White, when she got into the arena of music that you're doing with the gospel side, people put her in the same box as being a gospel artist. And I'm glad you brought that up, because it's all about life music to the listener. So I respect you on that outside the box thinking. So hey, you're right about that.
Yeah, I think as an artist, your job is to paint the picture, and you know what I'm saying. Like, the picture ain't always cute, and it's not always good. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
I mean, it's just you telling the story. It's just like, I can't give you my testimony without telling you, yeah, I've been shot, yeah, I've shot people or shot at people, or like, otherwise it's a fake testimony. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. I know exactly what you're saying, and I know. See, now we're about to take a quick break. I'm about to play the song you sent me, "Never Be the Same." So y'all check out the song. If you never heard it for the first time, it's a banger. And after the song, we're gonna jump right back into the interview with C-Nile to talk about his upcoming projects and things he got in store next. So I'm about to play the track, and we're gonna jump right back in the interview after the track.
Now when I met you, you ain't even have a penny. Took you out that cotton and put you up in some linen. Took you out that hoop there, bought you a Lexus. I never left Mobile, so I took you out to Texas. Showed you how a real nigga ball when he on. Told you ex he call again, he gon' smell my cologne. Didn't nobody know you, now they all know your name. Feel like I'm dry snitching, drop the time on your chain. It was love at first sight, so I put a ring on it. Feel like you had my back, so I put your name on it. Feds picked me up, you were right there by my side. Came home to a stranger, same face, different why. But I just brushed it off like maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe she the same, I'm the one that's different. Never thought a woman that was such a good friend of me would stab me in the back. I've been sleeping with the enemy. Man, hold up. It'll never be the same, baby. We done caused each other too much pain, baby. Can't do nothing but let it burn. Charge it all to the game and take it as lesson learned. Got 20/20 vision, but I ain't see this one coming. I was just Superman and you were my superwoman. Fell out of love with me and fell in love with the fame. 21 years gone down the drain. You be asking side chicks for some marriage advice. That's about the stupidest thing I done seen in my life. Niggas told you a dream, you got caught in the hype. He don't like it, just wanna say he hitting C-Nile white. Played yourself like Taraja and acrimony. Think I'm coming back, you out your noodles, no macaroni. Found me a new boo, fine that she cute too. Put me on child support, do whatever suits you. Them couple dollars can't compare to what you coulda had. Cause in the rain now, I bet you wish you woulda had. Thought the grass was greener, now you're lonely and single. Throwing pity parties, watching me perform in arenas. Hey. It'll never be the same, baby. We done caused each other too much pain, baby. Can't do nothing but let it burn. Charge it all to the game and take it as lesson learned. You living free when you left me. Fresh Prince, but you were trying to just adjust me. It's all Gucci like my name, Roger Davis. And don't be having all them busters around my babies. Other than that, I ain't got no beef with you, shouty. Maybe some pork, but I'm trying to make peace with you, shouty. Call me a bum, now you out here living with regret. I'm making meals and you out here living check to check. Know you upset, girl, ain't nobody setting you. I'm stuck with my new boo. Know you missed the filler, babe, but I'll never screw you. $2,000 a month for child support, you must be cuckoo. You gon' have to get it in blood, baby. So woo, you done forgot who's who. You a nobody, truth be told. I'm the star in this movie. You just got the supporting role. I'm the plug, baby girl. You just got the supporting hole. Talk that trash, but you know I'm the one come out your booty hole. It'll never be the same, baby. We done caused each other too much pain, baby. Can't do nothing but let it burn. Charge it all to the game and take it as lesson learned.
Welcome back to Walking This Way Impact Voice. That was the song by C-Nile, Never Be the Same. And that was a banger track. I like the track. I thank you, C-Nile, for submitting the track to be played here on the broadcast. And I'm excited, and I thank you once again for being part of the broadcast here live on Impact Voice.
Well, yeah, thank you for having me, man. Thanks for the love.
And I appreciate it. I get honored, like the Bible says, get honor to honor due, and I get honor to honor due because from that transition from that life to still doing music. So I know you say you got some music in the works, some more music in the works. So how is the new album coming along?
Yeah, it's almost done. Right now, probably about 7, 8 songs into it. I got like 10 more songs I've written that I got to go and record to see how they turn out, you know. But it's almost done. It should be ready for release, probably August, September.
It's still going strong. So do you have any collabs on your new album?
Well, I'm still collaborating with a few people. I got a few people that's singing on there. You know, I got a song I'm working on with Motown. Who else? A song I'm working on with Jamie. Who else? But it's mostly gonna be me by myself. I got a new single I'm getting ready to release called Anything. So that single it'll be released in about 2 weeks.
Okay, then that's what's up. But my next question is, if it's any artist I always wanted to work with, who is that artist and why?
I think I would like to work with an artist. I think I would want to work with Jay-Z. And I just think we'll make a great song together. I would like his lyrical content as far as with the metaphors. Like I'm big on the metaphors, so I just think we'll be able to make a great song.
You know what? That would be a banger because I'm a Jay Z fan. I love the way like you said, with his music, and also I love the business mind of Jay Z. Also, with the next level of the music. So that would be a banger, and I would love to hear that. And I hopefully one day will happen. So besides music and everything, what is the next thing that besides music? So what else does C-Nile got going on?
My next thing is getting into real estate, buying a lot of
Okay,
commercial
then.
property, buying a lot of properties, homes that need a little rehabilitating. So we're gonna go ahead and get into. That's what I want to get into. That's people always got to have somewhere to stay. Plus, I got my CDLs too, so I started a truck driving company. So I probably do a little more investing in that, get into dump trucks and few semis.
And that's what's up. And congratulations on that. Being an entrepreneur, of course, being a businessman. We need more of that. Because I know the Bible speaks about, a good man leaving his for children. And I know you were preparing for the next generation, setting them up for the next, the next stage, taking them to the next level. So my next question is, see, now after it's all said and done, I love asking people about their legacy here on Impact. Proverbs talks about a good name, and we know a good name is better than riches. So, what do you, at the end of the day, after it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
Honestly, I just want to leave behind great memories, because you can leave behind money. That money could get spent up. I think the most important thing to leave behind are great memories because people will forget what you gave them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's all about leaving behind great memories, and just a don't quit attitude. Because regardless of what I'm confronted with, I've been confronted with numerous hurdles and stuff in front of me, but I just never let anything stop me. Not the felonies, anything. I just find another way to get it done.
Yeah, and like I said, and I respect you to the highest, my brother. Like I said, from doing that time with the feds to changing your life around and still going strong and being determined to be successful. Because we look at within the system here in the state of Alabama, how it's a revolving door. I see a lot of young cats who don't know where to start at. And I tell these guys how the system is set up. It's set up to make money off them. Because if you got a man that just got out of jail and he had to go see his PO, how can he pay his PO if he just got straight out of jail? He's not working nowhere. So I just kind of hate how the system is set up to keep people bound. There's a lot of cats out there that want to change their life. They just don't know where to go and don't know where to start because of past history and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know firsthand. Like when I came home from prison, I was trying to get a job with Comcast, and they told me to get back with them in 7 years. I said 7 years.
Wow.
I'm like, if I make it 7 years, I won't need you by then. Like, yo, man, I need the help now. I come home, so most guys they come home with the right intent, trying to get a job, trying to do the right thing, and just can't get a job. So if they can't get a job and they still got all this pressure. Because when you come home, you either have gotten bigger or you've gotten smaller. So you got to start all the way over from scratch when it comes to clothes, cars, everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's a rough transition, man. Like it ain't easy at all. It wasn't nothing but by the grace of God, man, that I was able to really, really just make it through that.
And then that's a blessing. And hopefully we have programs in place to help, people that's been incarcerated, help them transition to where they can actually get the help they need, the assistance that they need, so we could put these places out of business. That's what I want to say. And I'm saying that from correctional officer standpoint because I get tired of seeing a revolving door. I get tired of because it's a lot of people who wants to change. They just don't know where to go, don't know where to start, and the way it's set up is just crazy. Especially when you give a man paid his debt to society, give him another chance to get himself on his feet.
Yeah, you really don't get you don't get a fair shot once you get back. You know, it ain't a fair shot on a bunch of levels, but that's the consequence of making the decision that you made that caused you to get in trouble anyway. So at that point you can't do nothing but look at the cards you got and play them and figure out another way to make it work, because there are other avenues that you can go down where you can get jobs with people who look forward to hiring felons, like even at the shipyard. So you still have a lot of construction and different companies that they're open arms to felons, but it's a hard thing, man. It's a hard thing to deal with. It definitely ain't an easy transition.
No, it's not. 'Cause I know one of your verses that you said in one of your verses, I think it was on the song Grace with True Seeker, and you said how you done time, it was your fault. But not unlike how you say that, because a lot of times people always blame the devil, like the devil did this, the devil did that, but you take ownership in your mistakes and say it was your fault. And I love when you say that verse in the song. That song was hot.
Yeah, that's what I learned while I was gone. I was always pointing a finger at everybody else. And then I had to learn that until you take full responsibility for the things that you did, then you'll never change those things, because you don't feel it. You're basically saying that it's not really your fault. The devil ain't done anything on your behalf. You did that. So you can't say Satan did anything. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I mean, you blame the devil for doing something. The devil ain't never did nothing on nobody's behalf. He may have planted the seed in your mind or said some things to you to invoke a certain emotion, but he's never went out and shot anybody on your behalf or robbed anybody or sold any drugs on your behalf. So you can't say that the devil did anything.
That's true. And I remember years ago, you probably remember me, but I was I was one of the guest speakers along with you at an event years ago here in Mobile, and you said something that resonated with me. You said, one bad decision can cost you a lifetime of pain. And that resonated with me because, like you said, it just take one bad decision to cost you a lifetime of pain. Like we were just talking about, when you make that decision being incarcerated, you go through that lifetime of pain with, like you said, when you're incarcerated, you're tired of seeing your wife and your son cry because you weren't at home, and just going to that pain point.
Yeah, it was like that was the moment where I just realized that anything that you do doesn't just affect you only. Everybody to you is affected by what happens to you. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I was like, dang, man, now it's time for me to check myself, because I didn't care about what happened to me at the time. Whatever happened to me was cool, but the fact that somebody else had to go through some pain and suffering for what I've done, that made it where it was, to me, it's unfair. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I don't want none of my loved ones to be going through nothing based off what I did. But before then, I never thought about my mom was going through some pain by me being locked up or anything. I never thought that. I thought the only person I was hurting was me. So I was cool with continuing that lifestyle at that point.
And like I said, by the grace of God, He put that in you to make that change, and you still a true soldier in the music industry, within the music. You still haven't changed. You still the same. And like I said, I'm a fan of your music. Like, you lyrically wise, you be putting it out there, and I just love the lyrical side of your music. There's some artists who don't be legally inclined. They just put garbage out. I love good music. The Nas, the Jay-Z's, that area I grew up in, the Master P's, music like that. These new cats, I don't know anything about these new cats. They ain't talking about nothing, but I'm just so used to the music that I grew up. I'm 38 years old. So I'm used to that genre of music, like with you in the 90s. The Masterpiece, Cash Money, Nas, Jay-Z, Pac, Dre, all them guys. So that kind of music I still listen to this day. So I don't know a lot of new cats out there.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even as far as what the way the music going and the music I'm releasing, like, I'm 45 years old, so I'm making music that's appropriate for my age group. Like, I'm not supposed to be making music that a 20-year-old can identify with. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. I'm not supposed to be dressing like them, talking like them, anything like them. I'm more than 2 decades older than them. You see what I'm saying? So I'm making music for my age group, and if the younger generation happen to like it and they catch on to it, then cool. But if not, I understand because they ain't been through what I've been through to attain this type of knowledge. So I write about real life situations.
And that's what's up. And like I said, you haven't changed. You still the same. And much respect to that. I know being a businessman yourself, I know a lot of businessmen, entrepreneurs are always reading. So, is any special books you're reading right now in your relaxation time?
You say in the books I'm reading?
Yes, sir.
I haven't been reading anything lately because I'm working on my album. But like I read books like The Secret. I read books like Think and Grow Rich, The Five Languages of Love. Things that I feel like that can help me in life. I don't read the hood stories and all that stuff. Like What Got You Here Won't Get You There. Books like that to challenge me to be able to get to the next level. The book there, like you're saying, what got you here won't get you there. So you have to change some things in order to go higher. It's got to be a change.
That's true. Oh, that's true. And that's what it's all about because I look, the books that I have in my library right now, I know I bought 50 Cent new book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. I'm into books like that. The Laws of Human Nature, that's the book I'm reading right now. Think and Grow Rich, I got that book in my library. So I'm always like you, inclining to get better. I'm all about, as you may do, all about mastering life and taking the limits off and being the best that God made you to be. So when you're at another level, you don't worry about all the other stuff that's unnecessary. You are about being ambitious and determined to reach the goals that you set for yourself, not just for yourself, but also for your family. So I respect that.
Yeah, man. That's all I'm doing, really. Just trying to evolve as a person, spiritually, musically, in every way. Period. Businessman, as a businessman, every way.
Awesome. And music-wise, what media outlets can the listening artists can go to purchase your music right now?
It's on every platform: Apple, Google Play, Spotify, you name it. It's on every platform.
And that's what's awesome. Like I said, C-Nile, keep doing what you're doing, which I know you is. You're very determined, very ambitious. Because before you came on, I was looking up. I know you had some mention on your page, ambitious and determined. And I was looking up the definition. I did buy me a dictionary the other day too. You know what I'm saying? Enhance my vocabulary and stuff like that. And I was looking at the meaning ambitious, like having desire to achieve a particular goal, which I know that's what you're doing now. Being determined, having reached a decision, firmly resolved. And I know that's what you're all about, being a man on a mission. When you think about being ambitious and determined, what resonates within your soul? You say, you know what? I'm breaking the barriers. I'm knocking doors. I'm about to be a beast and be a transcender.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to the odds. Like, I know the odds, I know what I'm faced with, but I believe that with God, everything is possible. So I don't even worry about it. I believe enough to do it, to pursue it. And I just feel like once I set my mind on it, I don't care what I'm confronting with. If I get knocked down, I'm just going to get back up, and I'm going to figure it out. If I can't go through you, I'm going to go around you. If I can't go around you, I'm going to go under you. But I'm going to get, there's nothing going to stop me from getting where I'm trying to get to. And that's my attitude.
And that's what's up right there, because I was thinking about that, and I was looking at Cam Newton on Instagram when he got cut by the Carolina Panthers, and he was working out in his home gym, and he would listen to gospel music in the background. He kept saying, they gave up on me, they gave up on me. All I know is work. And that speaks volumes when people give up on you, but that just brings the beast out of you. Because you say, you know what, you may give up on me. All I know is work, and I'm going to show you what I'm all about, and having that never say die attitude.
And like I tell people, man, like it's not the wins that create winners. It's the losses. It's the pain. That pain pushes you towards your purpose. So I just take all of these situations that are supposed to be bad situations, and I figure out to make them. I figure out a way to make it work for me, to work in my best interest. Because if you look at it, something good comes out of every bad situation. So if you could just take your mind off the pain for a minute and just really just look, you'll see something good came out of that situation.
That's true. And I just look at how we're made in the image of God. The Bible said that he made man in his image after his likeness. So we know we have the same characteristics that God has. If God is a created being, we are creators also. We know that death and life is in the power of the tongue, and we know that we speak those things into existence. We speak those things because they were. So when that area of faith comes in, what would you say about that? C-Nile, in that area of faith, I know when we speak like that, a lot of people get scared, and I'm talking about believers, because the Bible, even Jesus said himself in the Word, "You are God." You know what I'm saying? When you tell somebody I'm God with a low G, they get scared of that. Why is that? And the Bible speaks about that we are God.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's a fear because of the fear of God that they feel like they're comparing themselves to God. But it's just like whatever you are, the child is going to be. So if you came from a God, then you are God. Just like a lion. A lion can't produce a gazelle. It can only produce another lion.
Trure.
Each species can only produce its own kind. You see what I'm saying?
And it goes back to exactly. And I feel what you're saying. Sorry about that. And you're right about that.
Yeah. So if we worship a God and that's the God we worship, then and we're offsprings of Him, then of course that means we are gods too, and it says it in the Bible. Right. You see, I told you that you are God.
And also you look at in Revelation, it says that he made us kings and priests in the earth. A lot of people get scared of things like that. And this stuff is in the Bible. And a lot of people just get scared of that. And when I say stuff like that or you say stuff like that, they get scared. Oh, you the devil, or that's Antichrist, stuff like that. But it's written in his word.
He just like with all this stuff, with anything, you just have to understand that you got different levels of understanding. So you can't expect, it's like expecting a child in the second grade to understand trig. You can't get mad at that child if they don't understand trig because they haven't learned enough formulas to even get to the trig level yet. You see what I'm saying? Not to say that, I'm just saying like some people understanding just ain't there yet, and you have to grow into that space. Because at one point I wouldn't have been able to receive that. It wasn't until I started reading for myself and God started giving me revelation about certain things that I began to look at things differently. Because I wouldn't have dared said I'm a God at one point. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have felt comfortable saying that. But that comes from if you've only heard other people say it instead of read it yourself. Once you read it yourself, then you have you have a different outlook on the situation. Because you start for yourself.
Right. That's true.
But until you start reading for yourself, and you got.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, until people start reading things for themselves, they won't have that understanding. There's a lot of stuff I found in the Bible that I've seen a different story, just like the story of Job. Everybody talk about how Job went through it, and they act like he just went through it like a champ. Job was complaining. Even in Job 6:11, he even considered committing suicide, where he said, "What is my expected end that I should prolong my life?" I was like, "Whoa!" When I read that. Then when you find even scriptures even with Pharaoh, when Pharaoh let them go, and then the word says God hardened Pharaoh's heart. You see what I'm saying? When I saw that God hardened his heart, then you got to say, okay, then you can't just blame Pharaoh like that. Pharaoh kept letting him go. He let him go, but God had hardened his heart because he needed him to drive him to the Red Sea where he could perform the miracle. You see what I'm saying? So we have to have somebody got to be considered the bad guy. He got to use somebody to be the bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like that's just
true.
what it is.
That's true.
Just like
and,
even the story when just like even the story with Jesus when Judas sold him out. Judas felt so bad that he went and tried to give the money back. They wouldn't receive the money back. So he threw the money in the temple, walked away, and hung himself immediately afterwards. But nobody ever talks about that. They only just say Judas sold him out. What about the part that he was he was so overwhelmed with remorse that he went to kill himself? He didn't even want the money and tried to, nobody talks about that though. And if you don't read it for yourself, you'll just continue to repeat what everybody else is saying. But when I read the story and I saw that, then it's like, dang, why nobody ever talking about this part? You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying?
And
like the man made a decision, because we've all made a decision that we thought was the right decision at the time, and immediately after we realized it was the wrong thing. He tried to go and right his wrong and told the people, hey, man, this is innocent blood I'm shedding right here, man. You know what I'm saying? But they said, hey, that's on you now. They wouldn't receive the money, so he went and took the money and threw it in the temple, walked away and hung himself.
And people do that today, betray innocent blood.
Yeah. But this is the thing. They only focused on the one act. What about what happened after the man did that? The man was so overwhelmed with guilt, he went and killed himself. So he couldn't have been that cold-hearted.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
True. Because
if he was just cold-hearted like that and just an evil dude, then when he wouldn't have cared when he betrayed Jesus. He wouldn't have tried to go and make that right.
And looking at it from when you breaking it down like that, I mean, that's so deep how you break it down like that. And another thing on that one, with David and Bathsheba, only one I heard that break that down with T.D. Jakes at a conference. And, everybody's so focused on, David could be the adulterer with a Bathsheba, but people don't realize David had a man killed that was faithful and loyal to him as well also.
Yeah. This is a lot, man. That's a lot.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's a lot. It's a lot, That's one of those never-ending conversations because there'll always be more to add to, another story that we can bring up.
Like I said, I enjoy this time. I enjoy the realness. I enjoy the fellowship. I love this type of ministry. Not just ministry, but life, studies of things that we can learn from and apply to our own lives and deeper as it goes. A lot of stuff you do learn your own. And like I said, God gives you the revelation of the things. And everybody don't get it. Everybody don't want to get it. But some do get it, and some take it, apply it, and just run with it. So I just love this type of conversation that we're having here on Impact Voice.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. You've been great. I love it.
Oh, amen. I appreciate you. Also, I know we were pressing for time for getting off the air, and I know you're a busy man, of course. I know you got a schedule that you're sticking to. Do you have any final remarks for the listening audience here on Impact Voice?
Yeah, well, my final remarks would be, man, just live your life in a way that makes you happy. You can never live your life in a way that'll make everybody happy. So make the decision. What I do is I try to make the best decision today, hoping it'll bring a better tomorrow. Because that's all we can do. So follow your heart, follow your dreams, and, don't tell everybody every plan. Because everybody ain't going to be happy for you. And some people that'll be happy for you will be praying against it simply because they don't want to lose you in their life. Wow. They feel like if you go to another level now, they won't have access to you. So it's not some people praying against you for a good reason, but what's considered a good reason for them. So I just learned to just not say anything, because anything you tell somebody you're about to do, they could say something to persuade you to possibly turn away from what it is that you're trying to embark on. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So what I do is I just go and do it. Anything you say that you're about to do, it can be doubted. Anything that you do can only be received.
Mm.
So,
And y'all heard it. Go ahead.
yeah, so just don't say what you finna do. Just go and do it, because you'll have people that's gonna try to talk you out of it, and they may not be doing it consciously or on purpose. It's just based on their level of wisdom and experience.
Man.
A lot of people get talked out of great opportunities and great ideas every day simply because they're talking to the wrong people.
Mm. And that's words of wisdom right there, words of knowledge you drop in here on Impact Voice. And I hope there was something that resonated with somebody here today on the broadcast. Like Nike had that saying, just do it. That's all you have to do, just do it. And being determined. I know Nipsey Hussle says stuff in his music. We go circle God's father, And there's another book that I read. You probably familiar. Have you ever read about the book The Alchemist? Will Smith was talking about that book, and I purchased the book.
No, I haven't heard of that one yet.
Oh, The Alchemist. It was something in the book. They said how you should correct. We were so focused. People so more focused on the future. They're not worrying about their present. Inside the book, it says, correct your present. Once you correct your present, your future will be bright. I'm paraphrasing, but what it said is, if your present is still jacked up, your future is gonna be jacked up. If you don't correct your present right now, you're just gonna reap the benefits of what you're doing in the future as well. Which means it comes with, you have to make the necessary change in order for your future to be taken care of itself.
That's right. That's deep.
And when I seen that in the book, that kind of I had to highlight it and look over again, because when we program in a certain way, we be focused more. I can't wait to the future. I can't wait to the future. But what we doing within the present? We still doing the same thing. So when we go into the future, we doing with the same thing we're doing in the past. I mean, not in the past. The same thing we're doing in the present, we're gonna do in the future. We ain't made no necessary changes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. That was deep. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I never looked at it that way. But like I said, we were so closed-minded. But as you progress in life and mature, and God have a way of doing things, deal with you in a certain way, you're like, wow, I never looked at it that way. But I'm like this, life is what we make out of it. I've never been that type of dude to blame the devil. A lot of, like Paul said, Apostle Paul said, a lot of stuff we did out of ignorance, and a lot of stuff we did because of lack of knowledge. And so I don't blame the devil. I'm like you. I don't blame the devil for everything. That comes from the decisions that we make.
Yeah. And like I always tell people, how can you blame the devil for anything when he's never done anything? Like, he hasn't done anything on your behalf, so you can't blame him. If you remove him out of the way and say, okay, let's pretend there is no devil then. If you remove the devil out of the way, who do you have to blame for what you've done?
Self.
Nobody but yourself. And that's what we have to do. Because if he didn't do it on our behalf, we can't say you can't blame it on him.
That's true.
Have you ever seen anybody in court say the devil shot somebody?
No.
Have you ever seen the devil, just sitting up there on the stand fighting for his life, saying he went to one shot him?
That's true. I never seen that. I see exactly what you're saying.
So that's the thing. Whenever you don't take 100% responsibility, then you're not going to change the action because you're not being 100% honest with yourself. You ain't blaming yourself for that. You blaming somebody else. So if you blaming somebody else, then you feel like there's nothing to really be corrected.
Wow.
In so many words.
That's true. Man, that's true. And like I said, man, I enjoyed this time with you on Impact Voice. I know we're pressing for time. And I enjoyed this because this had to be, I know God switched everything to us talk about this because somebody need to hear that today here on Impact Voice, not just live, but also the replay. They go back and listen to the replay as well. Like I said, man, keep doing what you're doing, my brother. Much respect to you. Keep going strong. Like I said, and also it made me think about what you said. Don't tell everybody everything. The Bible says, Jesus said, don't let the left hand know what the right hand doing. And that's deep all by itself also.
Yeah, sometimes that even goes in your own household. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because if you never go anywhere and the enemy can't get to nobody, who do you think he's gonna get to? The closest people to you.
That's
you gotta
true.
use whoever's there. So, and I mean, you it don't mean that your mate is coming from a vindictive place. It's just a matter of you got to be able to know that if it's right, if God give you the vision and tell you to do it, then you got to understand that you can't expect somebody to see through your eyeballs. Nobody can see out of your eyeballs but you. So you can't expect that person to see your vision. And if you don't like the look of, doubt in their face, stop telling them and just show them. Do it and show them.
That's it. Well, Lil Wayne said, move in silence. So start moving in silence. Like I said, I'm glad this came up today. I'm glad it came up today. Like I said, I do appreciate you once again, C-Nile, for taking time out to be scared to be here on Impact Voice. And you're welcome to be a guest anytime here on Impact Voice. And as soon as you release your new music, I'll be glad to play it here on Impact as well, because I'm all about opportunity. I'm all about positivity, bring that positive vibe to our generation. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you for having me. You can call me anytime.
And I appreciate you, and I will be most definitely be in touch with you and invite you back on here again. Bring that knowledge, bring that years of experience to us generation that we can pass it on to the next generation. And like I said, I truly thank God for you and allow Him to make this day come to pass. So I'm truly grateful.
Thank you, man.
Oh, man, appreciate it. Like I said, we thank everybody for tuning in here on Impact Voice. Thank you, C-Nile, once again for taking time out to be scared to be here on Impact. What was said today, hope that you got something that was said, something you can take and apply to your life. Because that was on time and word for those who are listening. A time of just refocusing, re-examine, be about your business. Don't limit yourself. Take the limits off. Grind, put in work, and don't look for everybody. You got to be like David. Even David had to encourage himself. So don't look for everybody to encourage. You have to encourage yourself also. So I appreciate everything here on Impact Voice. And I will be back tomorrow here on Impact. Like I said, we got a lot of gifted men and women here in the city of Mobile. So I have another young lady that's going to come join me tomorrow at 5 o'clock. She's a book author. She's going to explain her story as she went through a broken marriage after 10 years. This woman got a lot to say. I love you kings and queens in the earth. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding. Stay prayed up. And I'll be back here tomorrow here on Impact Voice. Have a great, blessed Sabbath day. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
You are now listening to the most talked about blog talk radio station in the universe. Walking its ways, Impact Voice Radio. Be prepared to have your mind stimulated, your spirit elevated in ways you couldn't even imagine. Introducing your host and the mastermind behind this unforgettable experience, Furman Jackson Jr. You will not be disappointed. Let's go!